Wow, Cyrus, after all the introductions I've ever had, I must thank you. That was the most recent. Thank you so much. What an absolute pleasure to be with you, ladies and gentlemen. A hint and taste of new materials this morning, rather than the challenge of change, which many of you have seen me present on behalf of your organizations and companies. Today, we're rather talking about the road ahead. New materials, new thoughts that show you and your organization how to move towards, let's say, the road to 2020, into the immediate future, or the next 60 or 70 paychecks that your organization will face. And on that road ahead, we're all hoping for blue skies, of course, at a continuous level, but all too often what we find are the kind of conditions that you drove here through this morning, a little bit crazier, a little bit more confused. I want to talk to you about the road ahead, though, as I will at your next conference, because of the importance of what's going on in terms of business on our planet's surface right now. Last year, on this day, the 25th of February, quite a lot of business was done, even though a lot of people talked of recession and recessionary framework. In fact, last year, on this day, the 25th of February, the world did just over $227 billion that day. Well, we're 1 year later. How are we doing in terms of economy? Where's the recession? What kind of intrigues me is that today you can add another $11 billion to that figure. By the time you're all in bed this evening, ladies and gentlemen, our world will have done today $238 billion worth of business. That's pretty outstanding volume. The recession, where is it? Perhaps it's in the people's heads inside your organization. Not to say there aren't different times, not to say there aren't tough economic times. Recession, I'm not sure with those numbers how there can be. I think the issue is, in terms of where we are, that we're all driving our businesses now at breakneck speed into a future coming at us faster than ever before. Because the conditions are unclear, the pace of change, which is manic and will continue to be so over the next few years, is so vast and so crazy. Our people in our organizations need to be focused on exactly where it counts, the front windscreen, not where we tend to focus all too often, which is in the rearview mirror, looking for comfort, for the tried, the tested, the secure. And if we do more of what we did in the past, maybe we'll be okay into the future. Not on this journey that we're traveling into now. The road ahead in its own regard is going to be very, very different. So my new talk brings up some new road signs. You won't find them in the K53. They're basic. We're talking about simplification, how we need to make our lives more simple, how we need to smarten up our business opportunities and our business plans, and how we need to specialize in terms of our businesses. Time is brief this morning, but I'll talk a lot in the presentation about this man, for example. And if you've ever wondered why the Chinese economy is as crazy as it is, when the Chinese, who effectively invented technology, only got modern technology at the same time as we did in the rest of the world, why is China doing so well? Why is it streets ahead of other countries around the globe? Probably because in simplification terms, the Chinese often think of this man. The Chinese don't get English words tattooed on their bodies like we do with theirs. They rather think internally. The way that they do business being very different to the Western world, they think often of the wise old sage known as Confucius. My favorite Confucian quote, this one. Man, unbelievable stuff. Life, said Confucius, is simple. Why overcomplicate it? And if you really want to understand why China is moving ahead in leaps and bounds, they simplify their business lives so incredibly that Confucius himself talks of literally making sure that you are conscious of what you do, that you make sure that you understand, that you focus on the important things, you eliminate everything else, and with what's left you ask for help if you can't do it on your own. Simplification. We'll unpack that in the talk in its own right. Smartening up is about conscious thought, making sure that we're focusing on that front windscreen at a level that is absolutely clear. Your business is already drowning in bureaucracy. The bureaucracy is like cholesterol. It's holding you back. In terms of smartening up, we need to learn how to add value in a simplified business and deliver solutions rather than products. It's exceptionally profitable to do so. And in terms of specialization, I'll be showing your people how they've got to lead like the orchestral leader to make sure that they're bringing disparate members of your organization together in a continuous strategy that we unpack of learning, tuning, refining, and developing. In short, These three areas of operation in my new keynote will help your people engineer their own future. It's not something that's just going to happen. If you want the positive value of it, we'll make sure that we engineer that destiny in terms of where it comes from. Managing your business better, finding balance, putting it in the right perspective, looking to the future and not looking backwards. We call it the road ahead. A brief pleasure being with you for this 5 minutes. Thank you very much indeed.